The pit bull suddenly lunged at the baby. Its sharp teeth clamped onto the diaper, and in a split second, the dog began dragging the child across the floor. Mother froze in horror. A scream burst from her chest, a scream filled with raw terror, as her mind convinced her that her worst nightmare was happening right before her eyes. She rushed forward, desperately trying to pull her baby away, but no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't stop the dog. The pit bull's strength was greater than her frantic attempts to intervene. And then, in the most unexpected moment, the dog stopped. Instead of harming the child, it lowered her gently onto the ground. The mother rushed forward, scooped her baby into her arms, and looked closer. That's when she realized the truth. The tears came almost instantly as she understood why the dog had done what it did. This was not an act of aggression. It was something else entirely. This story begins with a young California mother named Nana Chai. She had always dreamed of adopting a dog, but her desire was met with deep concern and warnings from those around her. Nana had a 7-month-old baby girl named Masaila, and the dog she wanted to adopt was a pit bull. Her friends and family begged her not to go through with it. They reminded her of the breed's muscular frame, their fearsome reputation, and the countless stories in the media that painted pit bulls as dangerous and unpredictable. To them, bringing such a dog into a home with a baby was inviting disaster. But Nana wasn't convinced. She had always believed that dogs reflected the love and care they received. Something in her heart told her this dog was different. Trusting her instincts, she ignored all the warnings and brought home an 8-month-old pit bull. She named her Sasha. At first, Nana's nerves were on edge. Every time Sasha got near her baby, her chest tightened. She never left them alone together, constantly watching, ready to step in at the slightest hint of trouble. She knew the risks everyone had warned her about, and in those early days, she couldn't shake the fear that something could go terribly wrong. But what she saw instead surprised her. Sasha was careful around the baby. She never barked too loudly near her, never jumped, never made a sudden move that might startle or frighten the child. It was as if she instinctively knew just how fragile the little girl was. And Masaila responded in her own way. Whenever Sasha was close by, she seemed calmer. She giggled at the sight of the dog wagging her tail, sometimes reaching out her tiny hands to touch Sasha's fur. Little by little, something special began to grow between them, a bond, a silent understanding. As time passed, Sasha's protective nature became undeniable. When strangers came to the house, she positioned herself between them and the baby. If there was an unusual noise outside, she was alert and on guard, scanning the environment like a soldier standing watch. What started as a cautious experiment quickly became something stronger. Sasha was no longer just a pet. She was family. She was a protector. Nana's trust deepened with each passing day. Eventually, she even felt safe leaving the two alone for short periods. The pit bull that everyone had feared was proving them all wrong. She was gentle, loyal, and fiercely protective, but no one, not even Nana, could have predicted the night that would prove Sasha's loyalty beyond question. On June 6, 2018, the evening was warm, unusually so. Thinking Sasha would rest better outside in the cool air, Nana left her there for the night. She tucked Masaila into her crib, then retreated to her own bed, unaware of the storm of fire and fear that was about to engulf her world. Hours passed in silence, until suddenly, Sasha's frantic barking pierced the night. The sound was sharp, desperate, unlike anything Nana had heard before. The dog scratched and banged on the door with such force that the noise jolted Nana awake. Her heart pounded. At first, she thought the worst. An intruder. Why else would Sasha be so frenzied? She ran to the door, cracked it open, and before she could react, Sasha shoved her way inside. She didn't stop to greet Nana or sniff around. She bolted straight down the hallway toward the baby's room. Nana raced after her, confused and terrified. Then, horror struck. She burst into the room just in time to see Sasha grab the baby by the diaper, and yank her off the bed. Nana's scream ripped through the house. She lunged forward, desperately trying to separate them, convinced her family's warnings had come true. Her dog was attacking her baby. But Sasha was relentless. She pulled the child across the floor, ignoring Nana's panicked attempts to stop her. And then, suddenly, she paused. She looked up. In that brief moment, her eyes met Nana's, and what Nana saw froze her in place. Those eyes weren't filled with violence. They weren't wild with aggression. Instead, they held something else. Fear, urgency, desperation. Confused and trembling, Nana turned toward the window. That's when she saw it. The house next door was engulfed in flames. Flames so fierce that the entire structure glowed orange against the night sky. Smoke poured out in thick black clouds, and the fire was spreading fast. Already, heat pressed against the glass. In seconds, their home would be swallowed too. Everything became clear. Sasha hadn't attacked the baby. She had saved her. Nana scooped up Masaila, shouting for her other daughter to wake up. Together, with Sasha leading the way, they ran outside into the night. Behind them, the fire spread with terrifying speed. Within minutes, their home was overtaken. The roof collapsed, windows shattered, and all the memories they had built inside burned to the ground. Nana stood outside with her children and Sasha, tears streaming down her face. She thought of what could have happened if Sasha hadn't been there, if she hadn't sounded the alarm, if she hadn't pulled the baby from the room. The thought was unbearable. The very dog everyone had warned her against, the one so many had feared, had just saved their lives. Word of Sasha's heroism spread quickly. Local news stations picked up the story. Headlines called her the hero dog. Reporters wanted interviews, and each time Nana spoke to them, she said the same words: "We owe our lives to Sasha. If she hadn't acted that night, we wouldn't be here today." To Nana, this was more than a survival story. It was proof that love and loyalty run deeper than stereotypes. It was proof that dogs, no matter the breed, have the capacity to love and protect in ways we can't always understand. And most of all, it was proof of the invisible bond between her baby and Sasha, a bond so strong that in the face of fire and death, it had saved them all. Sometimes heroes don't wear uniforms. Sometimes they don't speak our language. Sometimes they walk on four legs, with wagging tails and eyes that seem to look right into our souls. That night, Sasha wasn't just a pit bull. He was a guardian, a protector, and above all, a hero. So, the next time you hear someone judge a dog by its breed, remember Sasha's story. Remember the pit bull that saved a baby from a burning house. And remember that sometimes the ones we fear the most are the very ones who save us in the end. Like, share, and subscribe for more amazing story.